one of the networks that I worked at for 8 years, much more moderate, of course, MSNBC. There's a great host on there, and I call him great because he's great on TV, even though I disagree with most of his views. But nonetheless, Joe Scarborough had an epic blowout this past week with Mika Brzezinski, his co-host. They were talking about President Obama's diversity or lack of diversity in the cabinet, according to Joe Scarborough and others, pointing out the fewer number of women who are serving President Obama. Particularly, there was a picture that was taken of some of his inner circle advisors, all men. So Joe and Mika are starting to have this argument, and Joe is complaining about Democrats who are having a double standard, that how come they go after Mitt Romney for binders full of women, but they're silent with President Obama in terms of the lack of women in his inner circle. And here's how the argument played out on Morning Joe. Listen.
And you're calling the wrong guy a chauvinist. You're calling the wrong guy a chauvinist. And seriously? Hold on. Oh. You want to call me a chauvinist? Right here.
Let me help you.
No. Let me help you.
Okay.
You really, knowing me and seeing me work around here for 5 years, you want to call me a chauvinist on television? You want to say that?
Caddy was chauvinist.
Do you want to say that on television, that I'm a chauvinist?
I didn't.
You did.
No, I didn't. I said the way you're acting is chauvinistic.
Now, a couple of things. Yes, Mika did call Joe's behavior chauvinistic, and Joe exploded. I've actually been in that very spot where I said a buzzword or a word that Joe may be particularly vulnerable to, and he explodes. And the argument, instead of becoming about the merits of the issue that you were talking about, becomes much more sort of personal. Why are you calling me a chauvinist? Are you really going to sit here on national TV and call me a chauvinist? And it becomes much more about Joe and the particular guest. Here's the great thing, though, that a lot of people say, oh, this is evidence of Joe melting down, or he's out of control, or he's a jerk, or whatever it is. The fact of the matter is that I guarantee that Joe Scarborough probably apologized to Mika as soon as they went to a commercial break. Joe is he's a passionate guy. When I had my blowout with him during the Democratic convention back in Colorado in 2008, and we had a blowout over something that I had said, literally, as soon as we went to a commercial break, he recognized that he had gone too far, and he apologized. He's a great guy, and he's passionate on the air, which makes for good television. So anybody who wants to sort of read into, oh my God, Joe Scarborough had a meltdown, and he and Mika Brzezinski hate each other now, and how are they going to be on TV together? Look, I mean, that's part of what I think makes the Morning Joe program so effective. Is it's like any family. I mean, everybody who sat around the kitchen table or the breakfast table knows that sometimes families have pretty brutal arguments with one another. But usually, most families eventually will sort of make up and realize, okay, well, let's just communicate and be clear with one another. But it's okay to have these arguments, and that's what I think makes Morning Joe so effective. Daniel Marins, are you surprised by my take on that?
No, David. I think you're pretty even-headed about it, and like you said, you've had some of those experiences. But what I will say is this: it wasn't just that Scarborough blew up at her on air there. He actually said things that were genuinely, I think, sort of revealed a little bit of latent misogyny. I mean, snapping at her.
Yeah.
That sort of reinforced. If you're trying to not seem like a misogynist, I mean, that was sort of one of the most patronizing things, and it's hard to say whether he would do it to a man, but it just.
I'm with you.
And what his private apology or not, he needs to make a public apology.
I agree, and also what he said to Caddy K early in the segment was really, I thought, beyond the line. So look, yeah, I mean, he gets himself in trouble by going beyond the line, and whatever sort of latent or whatever that's coming out, it shouldn't come out, and it's unfortunate, but. It's interesting because I think there's a different Joe Scarborough who sometimes comes out on the air when he's really sort of passionate, and a certain sort of Joe Scarborough in terms of, he's the first guy who'd give you the shirt off his back if you ever needed it. In any case, coming up, we're going to talk with our own Cliff Schechter about what's happening in the world of conservative media, Alex Jones, Joe Scarborough, and also what's happening on the issue of guns when Take Action News continues.